eventually he's going to start running on.
And good evening, everybody. I am Steve.
Really going to start slowing down. But again, just continuing on, a lot of folks.
Sorry, good evening, everybody. I am Steve, the Backsman Baxley, and this is the Saturday edition of Steve's Sporty Balls. Yep.
Relatively slow. You know, you just don't want to see him careen into a pedestrian or anything like that. Now,
we are ready. We are a bit late. How's everything today, folks?
Where they know or they have an idea or somebody's in the area that they can jump out and want to. But right now, I got to work with Bill once again. We got to get across. We got to get across LAX, and he just keeps hearing me. He's actually telling me we're waiting for permission to cross. So it's going to be a few moments or two, but he's making a U-turn again as I'm hearing it. There he is. Yep, there's the rest. And he's making a U-turn, so he's coming back the same way. So he's westbound once again. We're going to lose it behind that hotel. But you just got to wonder.
He's going around in circles.
Right. And it seems like, it almost, he's staying in this area.
Welcome, everybody.
That, a lot of times we'll hear
we are doing okay.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you.
And
now he's come to a stop. No, he's not.
No, he's not. No.
Change his mind.
Yeah, so, and again against traffic right there, it continues to lose officers. But LAPD, they have the opportunity, many an opportunity to do that pit maneuver on this.
Okay, folks, we are ready to do this thing. And sorry if we started a little late, but we did. And a little apology, folks. Steve Baxley here. This is Steve's Sporty Balls, and let's get right down to it. Hi, how you doing? Anyway, welcome you to our little house on the prairie. We're a little late tonight, and our apologies therein. But as you know, we do sports news first before we hit that old thing we like to call the sports scoreboard. We're taking a look at another car thing happening in Los Angeles. Pursuit of a attempted murder suspect continuing. So as we watch this, let's take you to some of the action of Combine Mania. Now, Saturday's field work from Lucas Oil Stadium is complete, and it was certainly one to remember. Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy made history as the event's fastest man ever. There's now just one day of the combine remaining as the offensive linemen and specialists take field on Sunday. For real-time updates, we'll give those to you, and of course, we'll wrap the combine up as well. So, as we like to say, welcome aboard. And now, as we said, Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy was the talk of the day as he ran the 40-yard dash in 4.21 seconds, which broke John Ross's standing record of 4.22 seconds from 2017. Worthy ran 4.25 seconds on his first attempt, but decided he had more left in the tank, and he did. Worthy's Texas teammate Edna Mitchell also stood out in athletic testing and on-field workouts. It could be difficult for teams in the first round to overlook his potential. Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy had a day much like his career, consistent and efficient. There was nothing eye-popping about his day, but he was there to celebrate Worthy's 40-yard dash despite finishing his work earlier. McCarthy was vocal all afternoon, including the support of Notre Dame quarterback Sam Hartman and his hair. Oh boy, that hair. Being the only quarterback to win the 40-yard dash in Group 1. Ugh. Okay, Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. stood out in the second group of quarterbacks, with McCarthy rising. If 4 quarterbacks are taken in the top 10 overall, then the next tier of quarterbacks stands to benefit the most. Oregon's Bo Nix and Penix then became the next best available quarterbacks that could translate to a first-round suggestion. There was not much to take away from the running back workout overall. Saturday's performance likely didn't do much to impact the draft, for better or for worse. Now the DB and tight end workouts. Clemson quarterback Nate Wiggins did not participate in the vertical or broad jumps, but he did run the fastest 40-yard dash of the night, 4.28 seconds. Wiggins suffered a hip flexor injury on his second run, however, and did not return. Toledo cornerback Quinion Mitchell is widely regarded as a likely first-round selection. He did not disappoint during testing, as his 4.33 second 40-yard dash was the second fastest of the night. His competition was Alabama's Darian Arnold, who ran a 4.50 second 40-yard dash, while Alabama's Kool-Aid McKinstry was unavailable due to injury. Okay, and Texas Tech safety Tyler Owens jumped out of the stadium before suffering an injury that ended his day. Owens had a 12-foot 2-inch broad jump, which was the second best all time, as well as a 41-inch vertical jump. The former high school track star was expected to run a sub 4.3 second 40-yard dash, but came up limp at the start of his first attempt. And finally, Kansas State tight end Ben Sinnott led all tight ends with a 40-inch vertical jump and a 10 feet 6-inch broad jump. With Broderick Bowers electing not to participate, Sinnott stood to be a big beneficiary. He stacked a solid 4.68 second 40-yard dash on top of those marks. Now for edge, defensive line, and linebacker, Penn State's Chop Robinson excelled across the board. Robinson came into this week as the number 21 overall prospect, and that'll be changing. Weighing in heavier than expected at 254 pounds and just under 6'3", Robinson blistered 40-yard dash with an official time of 4.48 seconds. He had a 10-foot 8 broad jump and a 34.5-inch vertical. Stock up, baby. Okay, and Latu disappoints. The number 12 overall prospect entering the combine didn't totally flop his workout, but he wasn't very close to Robinson and Turner, two of his fiercest competitors, to be a first edge rusher off the board. At nearly 6'4" and 259 pounds, Latu had a decent 40-yard dash of 4.64 seconds, but the jumps hitted at less than explosive traits. His vertical was 32 inches and his broad was 9'8". Anyway, North Carolina State's Peyton Williams stole the show among linebackers despite short arms. Wilson ran a 4.43 at close to 6'4" and 233 pounds. He had the same vertical as Robinson at 34.5 inches and a 9'11" broad jump. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. on the NFL Network. Catch it all, kids. Catch it all. Okay, let us keep going. Okay, let's go to boxing. And I guess we got to talk about him because all he is just plain ego, but what an ego. Jake Paul versus Ryan Borland. The problem child destroys his foe for a quick TKO. For a second consecutive outing, Jake Paul made light work of a professional boxer on Saturday night in Puerto Rico. Paul picked Ryan Borland apart from a first round technical knockout. Paul was lying on his feet in the opening moments of the fight, firing off jabs that split Borland's guard. The jabs opened up shots to Borland's ribs as Borland tried to chase down Paul to get his own offense rolling.
Wait, so whose car is this?
I don't know. You know what? I thought this is a friend.
Clearly it is, because they're ripping through traffic right now.
They're ripping through traffic. The driver of that vehicle jumped in the backseat of that thing. Looks like.
Paul kept his foot in gas till Borland began to wilt in the corner, resulting in the referee calling a halt to the bout at 2:37 of the first round.
We gotta find out if he gets on the freeway.
What happened to the other passengers in that car?
You know what? Right now, I'm going to try to stay with this car. Hang on.
All right, so if you're just joining us, LAPD is in the pursuit of murder suspects. This has been happening in essentially LAX area, Inglewood area. They were chasing this four-door Avalanche. For quite a while, the front tire came off. That car hit another car, came to a stop, and then we see the driver hop out and then go into this car, and now it's speeding down. Which area is this?
Century Boulevard, and this thing is moving along at a good clip. This is somebody that was waiting for that person. So, this is one of those ones where this is not just this is not just
he wanted it to be a little bit longer to give the fans some more time, but he was happy to be in Puerto Rico. Paul said after the fight, "You all showed that love. I love it here. If you're not first, you're last. A little bit of shake and bake, dodge his punches, and put his sorry ass on the floor."
Extremely high speeds at some point. Right now, though, I don't know if those numbers are correct because we're actually on our digital extender right now, so those numbers for the speedometer might be off.
Okay, if you were hearing that is from Fox 11, KTTV, another carjacking, another LA car pursuit. But this one's a little wild because they cannot actually move their chopper from the spot that they're in. Anyway, hello, Taylor Swift. Greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU. Okay. We're going to, if you will excuse me for just a few moments. Hello, one and all. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's go to the MMA, which is, of course, UFC Fight Night. And tonight it was Vegas, baby. Jairzinho Rozenstruik proved that there are levels to his game. Shamil Gaziev tried to level up at UFC Fight Night on Saturday from Vegas, baby. But his hopes were spoiled by the veteran from Suriname. Rozenstruik knows what it's like to be a rising prospect in the heavyweight division. He looked like a major player during the 10-0 start to his career, but struggled with the second half of his career. Gaziev, headlining his first UFC card in his second appearance, was looking to replicate Rosenstruck's early UFC success. It just didn't happen. Rosenstruck played the Matador to Gaziev's Raging Bull. Gaziev looked significantly bigger, but mostly failed to score takedowns. Traditionally, a weak point for his opponent, Rosenstruck's confidence grew by round three as he busted up Gaziev's nose with stiff jabs. He carried that momentum into an even stronger fourth round. There was drama in Gaziev's corner heading into round five. Referee Mark Goddard demanded honesty from Gaziev's team after concerns about what the Bahrainian fighter had said. One of Gaziev's cornermen revealed that Gaziev said he couldn't see out of one eye, leading Goddard to wave off the fight. Rosenstruck was awarded a fourth round TKO due to doctor's stoppage. UFC commentator Daniel Kroiner, during the post-fight interview at the UFC Apex in Vegas, stick to the jab and keep moving forward. The longer the fight went on, he saw he started to hurt him. Eventually, he gave up. That was Rosenstruck telling UFC commentator Daniel Kroiner during his post-fight Gab Fest. I'm going to take a step back and recalibrate. I'd like to come back in July and August. Anyone who wants to get it, come and get it. Do we have the entire thing, or is that it? I think that's it. Okay, we're about 2 minutes away from midnight. I am sorry once again. Everything, we're a little bit late. So, LeBron James scored his 40,000th career point at home. That's right, we told you. LeBron James officially made history on Saturday night. He became the first NBA player ever to score 40,000 points in his career. He did so on the Lakers' home court when his LA Lakers took on the reigning NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. James entered the game needing just 9 points to reach the 40,000 point line, and the magical moment came just a few moments into the second quarter. The shot itself was a driving layup to push the Lakers' lead as fans in attendance cheered in celebration. Yahoo! Last season, James became the NBA's all-time leading scorer when he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who himself racked up 38,387 points in his illustrious career. When that moment came, the game stopped so that the Lakers could hold a ceremony for the new scoring king. This time around, the festivities were far more understated. While James's history was acknowledged, gameplay did not stop. To be technical, James actually crossed the 40,000 point plateau long ago. If you include the postseason, James is now over 48,000 total points in the NBA. Across 2 decades, he has scored 8,023 points in the playoffs, a record by more than 2,000 total points, also Jabbar's record. James simultaneously holds the records for most regular season playoffs and combined points. James may be approaching his 40th birthday, but there is no indication that he's going to stop putting up points anytime soon. James is averaging more than 25 points per game this season, a marker he's now hit 20 years in a row. While his role and productivity will likely dip somewhat in the coming years, James has been such a historical anomaly when it comes to scoring as an older player that there is no reasonable way to actually project it. James didn't just make history by becoming the first player ever to score 40,000 points. He continued to pad an already there it is. Could have already potentially insurmountable lead on the scoring charts. No active player has even 30,000 career points right now. If James keeps this up, he'll add another several thousand points to his ledger and set a record that may never, ever be broken. We're going to take a bit of a break. We're at the midnight hour. This is Steve's Sporty Balls. We're going to take a brief pause, but we will return in just a few moments. Stay tuned. More of this madness when we come back. Oh, ah, ah, ah. Okay. Okay, welcome back to the broadcast. And let's get some more fun stuff before we hit the scores. Okay, yada 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 yada. Okay. We'll look for some more sports news before we hit that lovely thing we personally would love to call the scores. So let's do the scores, and we'll see what we can find on the world of entertainment. So let's do this, shall we? Saturday, thank you, boys. All right, let's rock and roll. The NBA, the Hawks lost to the Nets, so 114 to 102. Heat over the Jazz, 126 to 120. In overtime, Trailblazers over the Grizzlies, 107 to 100. Nuggets over the Lakers, 124 to 114. And the Rockets over the Suns, 118 to 109. In men's basketball, everything is a final, as usual. And we got a lot on the board, folks. Let's give it to you. Number 24 ranked Florida, a loser to 18th ranked South Carolina, 82-76. Well, let's not do the ranking parts, okay? South Carolina over Florida, 82-76. Illinois over Wisconsin, 91-83. Baylor over Kansas, 82-74. Kentucky over Arkansas, 111 to 102. Arizona over Oregon, 103-83. Creighton over Marquette, 89-75. Auburn over Mississippi State, 78-63. South Florida over Charlotte, 76-61. Iowa State over UCF, 60-52. North Carolina over NC State, 79-70. Duke over Virginia, 73-48. Washington State over UCLA, 77-65. Purdue over Michigan State, 80-74. Tennessee over Alabama, 81-74. Houston, 87-85 win over Oklahoma. And Gonzaga, 70-57 winner over St. Mary. For the women, St. Louis over Knox, 119-42. Ball State over Eastern Michigan, 75-47. Rhode Island over Dayton, 77-42. Navy over American, 73-57. Wright State over Detroit, 66-56. Lipscomb over Eastern Kentucky, 71-68. Kent State over Buffalo, 67-59. Maine over Albany, 63-46. Morehead State over Lindenwood, 72-59. Binghamton over New Hampshire, 65-56. Ohio over Central Michigan, 77-63. Toledo over Western Michigan, 84-69. Bellarmine defeated Austin Peay, 76-71. Canisius over Ryder, 73-62. Winthrop over Gardner-Webb, 72-57. Richmond over St. Bonaventure, 61-46. VCU over George Mason, 61-56. West Virginia, Mountain Mamas, Take Me Home, Country Road over TCU, 57-49. In overtime, it was Southern University over Bethune-Cookman, 65-59. Loyola Maryland over Army, 55-52. Fairfield over Manhattan, 77-53. Mercer over Samford, 76-69. UNCG over Western Carolina, 61-54. Niagara over Iona, 86-56. IUPUI, 92. Oakland, 71. Lemoyne over San Fran, Pennsylvania, 56-24. Stetson over North Florida, 59-56. Chattanooga over Wofford, 84-67. New Jersey Tech over Bryant by a score of 64-38. Kennesaw State over Queens, 81-50. In overtime, it was Little Rock over Tennessee Tech, 72-69. Abilene Christian over Utah Tech, 74-62. Tennessee State over the UT Martin, 55-53. Western Illinois over SIUE, 84-56. FIU over Western Kentucky, 71-68. Milwaukee defeated Green Bay by a score of 65-61. Charleston Southern defeated Presbyterian, 68-49. Central Arkansas over Northern Alabama, 89-63. Radford over UNC Asheville, 55-54. St. Joseph's over Duquesne, 77-73. George Washington over Loyola Chicago, 50-43. LaSalle over Fordham, 93-83. North Carolina Central, a 52-44 victory over Coppin State. Texas A&M Com over Houston Christian, 78-63. Iowa State over Cincinnati by a score of 76-60. Howard over Maryland East Shore, 64-48. McNeese State over Nicholls State, 78-76. Lamar over Northwestern State, 80-64. Norfolk State over Delaware State, 65-51. In overtime, Texas A&M CC over Southeast Louisiana, 79-73. Georgetown, a 66-46 winner over Xavier. Bucknell over Lafayette, 56-45. Morgan State over South Carolina State, 61-28. USC over Arizona State, 70-55. Utah over Washington State over Utah, 62-47. Akron over Northern Illinois by a score of 69-54. PFW over Youngstown State, 73-64. Sacred Heart over Merrimack, 64-51. Vermont over UMass Lowell, 55-1. Middle Tennessee over Sam Houston, 93-62. Stephen F. Austin over the Grand Canyon, 85-77. UT Arlington over Utah Valley, 67-53. Okay, we got 67-53. Let's get back to where we were. 6-7-53. Cal Baptist over University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, 72-58. Tarleton State over Southern Utah, 69-63. South Dakota State over North Dakota State, 89-74. South Dakota over North Dakota, 65-54. Liberty over UTEP, 80-63. Oral Roberts defeated UMKC, 94-56. Memphis over UAB, 82-61. North Texas over Rice, that's nice, 63-54. Tulsa, 91-73 winner over SMU. University of Texas San Antonio defeated Wichita State 68-61. Boston University over Holy Cross 66-63. Columbia over Yale 76-50. Wyoming over Fresno State 62-51. Brown over Cornell 75-66. Kansas State over Texas Tech 73-49. Alabama A&M over Alabama State 58-47. In two overtimes, it was Incarnate Word 79, New Orleans 76, Marquette over Butler 74-52, Illinois Chicago over Northern Iowa by a score of Northern Iowa over Illinois Chicago 61-52, Missouri State over Illinois State 67-62. Washington State over Colorado, 72-63. Oregon State over California, 79-58. Southern Illinois over Bradley, 70-54. Grambling over Florida A&M, 65-54. Drake over Valparaiso, 82-62. In overtime, St. Peter over Marist, 58-57. Montana over Idaho, 64-48. East Washington over Montana State, 52-50. Jacksonville State over New Mexico State, 60-51. Northern Arizona over Weber State, 73-41. North Colorado over Iowa State, 63-51. Jackson State over Texas Southern, 101-51. Penn over Harvard, 69-67. Princeton over Dartmouth, 68-42. Alcorn State over Prairie View, 55-53. Air Force over Boise State, 67-66. Nevada over New Mexico, 83-82. Arkansas Pine Bluff beat Mississippi Valley State, 78-57. Lehigh over Colgate with a smile, 55-47. Siena over Mount St. Mary, 65-56. St. Thomas, Minnesota over Denver, 79-68. In overtime, UC Irvine over Long Beach State University, 86-76. You had Santa Clara over Pacific, 85-77. St. Mary's over Pepperdine, 69-48. San Francisco over San Diego, 68-66. Portland State a winner over Sacramento State, 57-51. Cal Poly over Cal Baker, 74-56. California CS Northridge over UC San Diego, 66-64. Kansas over Oklahoma, 83-74. San Jose State over Colorado State, 68-56. UNLV, a 141 winner over San Diego State. Stanford, a 76-56 winner over Oregon. Furman, a 6-7-59 winner over ETSU. Southern Indiana University over Southeast Missouri State, 70-59. Jacksonville lost to Florida Gold Coast, 80-55. Portland over LMU, 75-63. Cal State Fullerton over USCB, 78-65. South Florida over Tulane, 53-51. High Point over Longwood, 61-58. Connecticut over Providence, 65-42. Houston over UCF, 68-67. Texas over BYU, 71-46. 71-46. And UCLA defeated Arizona 61-64 in the completion of round 3 at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Shane Lowry, David Skins, and Austin Eckhart are tied at 13 under, while Jacob Bridgman and Minwoo Lee are at 10 under, tied for 4th place. In Major League Baseball action, Of course, split squads, naturally, we'll let you know. We had a split squad. The Boston Red Sox A team beat the Nationals 4-2. The Red Sox B team beat the Tampa Bay Rays 3-2. Orioles over the Yankees 7-4. Pirates over the Tigers 7-3. Astros over the Cardinals 7-1. Phillies over the Twins 3-2. Braves over the Blue Jays 6-2. Marlins over the Mets 4-1. Royals by 1 over the Guardians 13-12. White Rangers over the White Sox 14-3. Dodgers over the Cubs 8-5. Padres over the Giants 3-2. Dodgers had a split squad. Dodgers A, of course, beat the Cubs 8-5. Dodgers B team beat the Brewers 11-3. Angels over the Diamondbacks 4-1. Athletics over the Mariners 12-8. Rockies over the Reds 10-4. In the National Hockey League, one game still going early in the third. Penguins over the Flames 3-1. Final scores: Jets 5, Hurricanes 3. Red Wings shut out by the Panthers 4-0. Oilers over the Kraken 2-1. Predators over the Avalanche 5-1. Blues over the Wild 3-1. Sabres over the Golden Knights 7-2. Flyers over the Senators 4-2. Maple Leafs in a shootout beat the Rangers 4-3. Lightning in a shootout beat the Canadiens 4-3. Islanders over the Bruins 5-1. In another shootout, it was the Stars of Dallas over the Sharks of San Jose 3-2. And the Blue Jackets beat the Blackhawks 5-2. In Premier League action, these were the games. They were all final. West Ham United over Everton 3-1. Newcastle United over Wolverhampton 3-0. Tottenham Hotspur 3. Crystal Palace 1. Liverpool 1. Nottingham Forest 0. Fulham 3. Brigham and of Albion 0. Chelsea and Brentford settled for a 2-2 tie. Aston Villa over Luton Town 3-2. In the MLS, we have 3 games still going on in progress. In the second half, at the 78-minute mark, the LA Galaxy lead the San Jose Earthquakes 3-1. Also in the 78th minute, Seattle Sounders and the Austin Football Club are tied at 0. In the 79th minute of action, the Portland Timbers over the DC United 2-1. Final scores: Minnesota United and Columbus Crew tied at 1. Real Salt Lake shut out the Los Angeles Football Club 3-0. Inter Miami over Orlando City 5-0. Charlotte and Vancouver tied at 1. Cincinnati over Chicago Fire 2-1. Montreal over Dallas 2-1. Philadelphia Union and Sporting Kansas City played to a 1-1 tie. New York Red Bulls over the Houston Dynamo 2-1. St. Louis over New York City Football Club 2-0. Colorado Rapids and the Nashville SC tied at 1. In La Liga action, Seville over Real Sociedad 3-2. Rayo Vallecano and Cadiz settled for a 1-1 tie. Getafe and Las Palmas suffered and settled for a 3-3 tie. Valencia and Real Madrid settled for a 2-2 tie. In Liga MX action, it was America over Atlas 5-1. Toluca over Tigres UANL 2-1. Pachuca over Suarez 3-2. Cruz Azul over Guadalajara 3-0. In Das Bundesliga, Leipzig over Bochum 4-1. Mainz and Mönchengladbach ended up in a 1-1 tie. Borussia Dortmund beat FC Union Berlin 2-0. Augsburg over Darmstadt 98 is final score 6-0. Eintracht Frankfurt over Heidelheim, poor responsibility, and let's see, 2-1 Heidenheim over Eintracht Frankfurt, and Augsburg over Darmstadt 98 6-0. Stuttgart over Wolfsburg 3-2. In cities, we've already given you the scores on those. League One action: Lille over Reims 1-0. Olympique Marseille 5, Clermont 1. In Argentine Premier Division soccer action, Union 2, Sarmiento 2-1. Atletico Tucumán and Velez Starsfield ended in a goose egg tie. So too did the Talleres de Cordoba and River Plate. And finally, oh boy, is it going to be finally. Independiente over Argentino Juniors 2-1. Let's go for at least another little hockey thing before we go to some entertainment news updates. And wow, we made it. Let's go to up. We go to live score before we head up to more of a good thing, as we like to call it. Let's go to hockey for a Saturday night. There's more than just the NHL happening. And let's see if we can't get more good stuff. Okay, we've done that. Let's okay. Okay. We did the MLS, we did La Liga. Okay, so we've done with football. We're going to go to hockey now. And we do the Saturday bit for hockey. Hockey boys, hockey. Okay. Let's, we've already done most of, okay. In the OHL, there we go. Okay. In the where's the OHL? Okay. In the OHL, here are your scores. Brentford Bulldogs over Kingston Frontenacs 5-3. London Knights over the Flint Firebirds 4-3. Saginaw Spirit over the Owen Sound Attack 6-2. Oshawa Generals over Sudbury Wolves 6-2. And the Barrie Colts Niagara Ice Dogs game was postponed. In the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, it was Acadie Bathurst Titan over Bay-Comeo 4-3. Gatineau Olympique over Blainville Bois-Brillant Armada 7-2. Rimouski Oceanic over Quebec Remparts 3-2. Victorville Tigers. Michigan want to blow it again. Minnesota lucky that they won. In overtime. Hi Brett, how you doing? Let's see. Let's go. Yeah. Victorville Tigers over the Charlottetown Islanders 3-2. Halifax Mooseheads over St. John Sea Dogs 7-1. Montcalm Wildcats over Cape Breton Screaming Eagles 5-2. Royan Noranda Huskies over the Chicoutimi Sanguines 3-1. And the WHL action went like this. Kelowna Rockets over the Tri-City Americans 4-1. Moose Jaw Warriors over the Seattle Thunderbirds 4-2. Everett Silvertips over the Regina Pats 5-3. Red Deer Rebels over the Calgary Hitmen 2-1. Prince George Cougars over the Spokane Chiefs 5-4. Portland Winterhawks over Victoria Royals 5-4. Kamloops Blazers over Vancouver Giants 3-2. Edmonton Oil Kings over Swift Current Broncos 4-1. And Lethbridge Hurricanes over the Prince Albert Raiders 4-3. And Saskatoon Saskatchewan Blades over the Brandon Wheat Kings 4-0. We go over to the American Hockey League. the Hockey League of Record, as we like to call it. Cleveland Monsters over the Chicago Wolves 6-1. Manitoba Moose over the Texas Stars 7-3. Syracuse Crunch over the Toronto Marlies 4-2. Yes, I got a lot of respect for the minor league teams. They are playing awesome. Yes. Syracuse Crunch over the Toronto Marlies by a score of 4-2. Charlotte Checkers 4-2 winners over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Belleville Senators over the Rochester Americans 4-1. Rockford Ice Hogs over the Grand Rapids Griffins 5-4. Utica Comets over the Hershey Bears 1-0. Bridgeport Islanders over Lehigh Valley Phantoms by a score of 2-1. Springfield Thunderbirds over Localist. Anyway. Let's see, where was I? Grand Rapids Organs. You comments over the Bridgeport Islanders over Lehigh Valley Phantoms 2-1. Springfield Thunderbirds over Laval Rockets 7-3. Coachella Valley Firebirds over San Jose Barracuda 3-2. In the third period, Abbotsford Canucks and the Bakersfield Condors lead the Bakersfield Condors 4-2, and the Tucson Roadrunners lead the Henderson Silver Knights by a score of 5-2. And that pretty much, in a nutshell, is our scoreboard. Sponsored as always by Live Score. Let's get you some entertainment news. And the Ringside News report reports that, the Ringside News says Tony Khan's professional wrestling company, let's try that again. Tony Khan's professional wrestling company, All Elite Wrestling, relies heavily on its relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery for its programming. Thus far, Khan has worked diligently to ensure Warner Brothers Discovery is satisfied with AEW's content, leading to speculation about an eventual media rights deal between the two entities. Warner Brothers Discovery has served as the proud home of AEW, airing popular shows like Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. The exclusive deal between AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery even resulted in the discontinuation of AEW Dark on YouTube. During an episode of the Mat Men podcast, Andrew Zarian addressed speculation about Tony Khan signing a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery. Zarian expressed confidence that an agreement between the two parties is imminent. While the specifics of the deal remain undisclosed, Zarian's comments suggest that AEW's partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery is set to expand, potentially offering new opportunities for AEW beyond pro wrestling. As the negotiation progresses, it remains to be seen whether AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery will finalize their agreement. Nevertheless, securing a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery would undoubtedly be a significant milestone for Tony Khan's company. Wahoo. Let's go to continue our little romp through the valley. And here we go. Folks at Netflix got a lot of money, but they have canceled yet another critically acclaimed series after one season. On Friday, reports confirmed that Netflix will not be continuing The Brother's Son, an action dramedy series, which starred Oscar-winning actress Michelle Yeoh. This comes almost 2 months after the series, which is co-created by Glee and American Horror Story co-creator Brad Falchuk and newcomer Brian Wu, made its first debut on Netflix. According to reports, although The Brother's Son was met by critical acclaim and spent 5 weeks in Netflix's English language top 10, it still performed modestly by the platform's standards. So there you go, right there in the combined nutshell. Jeff Zucker and Jeff Shell are in talks with Paramount as the ousted executives eye a network TV return. Both men were bounced unceremoniously from running NBC Universal and CNN, respectively, over sex scandals now find themselves at private equity firm Redbird Capital, which is behind Skydance Media's ongoing machinations to take over Sherry Redstone's struggling Paramount Entertainment empire. We will let you know how far this goes. Let's see. Bread's API is coming in June. Jeff Jarrett talks Sting's role behind the scenes in TNA Impact on Main Event Mafia. We'll give you that report tomorrow. Diona Perazzo filed a trademark application on Friday to trademark the term the Virtuosa. That's new. Let's see what else. Netflix already has Perfect Next live-action anime adaptation after One Piece and The Last Airbender, and there's a perfect anime that Netflix should tackle next. Lupin the Third will make an ideal live-action adaptation for Netflix, offering endless adventure and storytelling possibility for Western audiences. Lupin's world combines elements of One Piece and James Bond with colorful locales and a diverse cast of allies and enemies. Characters' adaptability and global adventures make Lupin a perfect fit for a globe-trotting adventure series promising cookie excitement for viewers. We shall await with bated breath. Okay, we got about 2 minutes. Paramount stock has 6-7% upside, according to one Wall Street analyst. Michigan football player offered almost $2 million to enter the transfer portal. Starbucks and the union agreed to restart contract talks as new CEO Laxman Narasimhan pivots away. WWE star debuts new name at NXT's live event. Detroit Pistons have reportedly released a 6-year NBA player. Sports Illustrated is reporting that Shake Milton has agreed to a contract buyout with the Detroit Pistons. Let's see what else we got here. NASCAR caught Joey Logano wearing an amphibious-like glove in a cheating violation. Is there more to come in this? Stay tuned, gentle readers. We're not done completely. But we are done with the broadcast. At least, well, usually we'd be done. But since we started a little late, here we go. And okay, it's 12:35. We're going about 5 more minutes. Shamar Moore extended interview on the Jennifer Hudson show. Former Michigan standout CFL champion Craig Rowe has died at the age of 33. Shake Milton has gone from the Pistons to the Celtics. We're not going to report that yet. Let's see here. Okay, we are about 6 minutes left in this broadcast. And we go one way, you go the other way, and we go boom. Okay, Diamond Sports has announced, and it is official, About a year to the day after Diamond Sports filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, the operator of the 19 Bally Sports branded RSNs, the former Fox Sports Net regional sports networks, has submitted its official reorganization plan to the Houston court that oversees the case. Diamond's attorneys filed the 91-page reorganization plan to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Texas, Houston Division, with an eye toward an April 17th hearing in front of Judge Christopher Lopez. The document hit the docket late Thursday night alongside a 174-page disclosure statement. As part of the proposed reorganization, Diamond will extricate itself from the legacy naming rights deal with Bally Corporation that its now former parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, inked on November 18, 2020. At the time of the transaction, Sinclair received various warrants and options with respect to the common stock of Bally's, valued at more than $184 million. For its part, Diamond was set up to generate approximately $88 million in naming rights fees for Bally's over a span of 10 years. Now, according to the disclosure document, under the terms of Diamond's $495 million settlement with Sinclair, Bally's commercial agreement will be rejected, and Bally's will release and waive any claims against Diamond, including any claims for rejection damages. That said, Diamond may, quote, continue to use the Bally's trade name at no cost to Diamond through the end of the 2024 Major League Baseball season. Diamond's decision to move on from its naming rights deal necessitates a major branding overhaul for the sunsetting Bally Sports regional sports networks, as well as Bally Sports Plus streaming platform, which was a hard launch in September 2022. Neither court documents provided guidance as to a possible successor. Grooming a new naming rights partner is just one of several tasks Diamond must see to as it looks to bounce back from a bankruptcy saga that began on March 14, 2023. Among the most pressing matters of business is to nail down long-term affiliate deals with its three biggest distributors, DirecTV, Charter, and Comcast. Per the disclosure document, approximately 81% of Diamond's distribution revenue is derived from those three operators, which together serve some 38.5 million domestic video subscribers. 2 of the 3 distribution deals are in limbo as Diamond has negotiated informal short-term extensions with Comcast and Charter. The latter's legacy carriage deal expired on Thursday. DirecTV's contract includes the option of an extension that would kick in sometime this summer. Now, while re-upping with the big three is obviously top priority, the days of the RSNs functioning as virtual cash machines are over. As Diamond noted in Friday's filing, cord cutting has robbed the RSNs of 22 million subscribers, or 35% of the company's customer base since 2019. As was revealed during this week's hearing, Diamond's contingency plan to close out its deals with its 15 NBA and 11 NHL team partners was voided upon the court's approval of the $450 debtor in possession financing package. The company continues to work with both leagues with respect to modifications to their existing telecast rights agreement. Meanwhile, talks to keep things rolling along with Diamond's 12 MLB partners may be a slog, as Commissioner Rob Manfred not only wants to launch an in-house streaming service, but also remains adamant about not seeing any further reductions in rights fees. Cleveland Guardians, Minnesota Twins, and Texas Rangers agreed to a one-time rights haircut when they signed their one-year extension with Diamond last month. MLB's OTC plans may be further complicated by the fact that Diamond has negotiated for the in-market streaming rights to 5 MLB clubs: the Tigers, the Royals, the Brewers, the Marlins, and the Rays. While cited in the disclosure document, exhibits related to Diamond's post-bankruptcy financial projections and evaluation, analysts have yet to be filled with the court, and we will have more on that story as well. So, folks, it has now been a long day, and we are at the final 30 seconds. We gave you some entertainment news, we gave you more sports news, and I went to sleep again. Goes to show you that even on the show, surprises galore happen. Tomorrow, We're sobering up because it's a sober Sunday. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the great folks, the fine folks over at the L2C Media Network and YouTube. I'm Steve, the Baxman Baxley. We'll see you tomorrow night at 11:35. Till then, have a great night. And how do you feel about bringing back Blue Mountain State because they're rebooting it? I think it would be very interesting, Brett, to tell you more. And we will do more tomorrow at 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Good night from our studios in Jackson.